Hello, welcome back to another episode on That Sound Podcast. Today we are going to be continuing the theme of our supergroups. If you look back on some of our older videos, we had a 60s and 70s supergroup, we did an 80s supergroup with Rob Boylan, and now today we are going to do our 90s supergroup. So let's get into it. So I'm going to do a 5-piece, same as the other bands before. So 5-piece, lead, rhythm, vocals, bass and drums. So there's a bit of a grunge theme to this one, so let's get into it, right? So on lead guitar, I went with Jerry Cantrell. Jerry is unbelievable. He is, to me, he is definitely underrated. I think, when you hear people talking about their top 5 or top 10 guitarists, Jerry as songwriting, guitarist, vocals, his harmonies, unbelievable. So I'm going to start off Jerry Cantrell. On rhythm guitar and vocals, I'm going to go with Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell is a beast. His voice, from I was a young age, his voice just did something to me. It spoke to me or something. I don't know what it was, but his raspiness and his unusual stuff with Soundgarden really intrigued me. Some of the stuff on Soundgarden I'm not keen on, to be honest. The Super Unknown album I love, but some of the other stuff, I don't know, I just can't get into it. But Chris Cornell with Audio Slave. Now, when Audio Slave came out, I was in my, 15, 16, 17. I got to see them twice live, and I had the pleasure of seeing Chris Cornell, you probably heard me mention before, in an acoustic set in New York, and it was probably one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. So for that reason, Chris Cornell is doing rhythms and vocals as well. On bass, I went with Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine. Tim is unbelievable. I was very tempted to put Brad in there too on the drums, because I think the two boys are one of the best rhythm sections in the 90s and 2000s of any band. Absolutely brilliant. They hold that whole thing together for Rage Against the Machine. Some of the fills and the bass lines and everything is unbelievable. So Tim is in there holding the ship down on the bass. On drums, I went with a bit of a wild card. I went with Dave Appreciz from Pearl Jam. Now, I know Dave only did verses and he did a little bit of the next album, but I think there was problems then that they might have retracked them, because Dave got fired from the band just before I think the final mixes were going to be mastered, and then he got kicked out. He just didn't suit the band. I think he was maybe too hard-hitting, too different. He mightn't have followed Eddie's path and the pathway that Eddie wanted the band to go. But Dave, there's no doubt about it, is an absolutely fantastic drummer. I was watching some of his stuff on YouTube, his channel, and he still has it. He's an absolutely exceptional drummer. So for that reason, Dave is in my 90s supergroup. So far we have Jerry, Chris Cornell, Tim Comerford and Dave Appreciz. And last but not least, on main vocals, Layne Staley. I know there's a lot of singers in there, but we have Chris can do a bit of rhythm, Jerry can do the lead. So you have Chris, Jerry and Layne, Tim Comerford, Dave Appreciz. That's a nice sound. That is a super group. That is a grunge super group. And can you imagine what they'd come out with? Even Layne could play a little bit of guitar as well. I know he played a little bit on the Dirt album, so they could chop and change. Chris and Jerry, on the guitars even alone. Oh man, yeah, I'd love that. If we could go back in time and get them in the room together and see what kind of stuff they come out with, I think it'd be absolutely fantastic stuff. So that's it for my 90s supergroup. What did you think of it? Who would you have in your 90s supergroup? Put a comment down below. Give me your 5-piece of the 90s. Would you go a different team? Would you go more poppy, more heavy rock stuff? I did think about, the heavier stuff, Pantera, Dimebag. I thought of Sean Kinney as well. Some more of the grunge stuff. Flea was there. There was a lot of choices, but yeah, let me know what your supergroup will be. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to our channel for more content and give us a like. And catch you on the next one. And remember, keep rocking.